Yeah. So anyway, let's shift gears here. I don't even know how to, I don't know how to like really just, get to this next topic. It's almost like trying to just squeeze through like a weird crack. It's kind of a tight fit. Which brings me to our next topic, which is those load screens where you go through like a little cave or like a crevice. You know what we're talking about, where there's like two walls and you have to shimmy through. Yeah, what do you, the squeezums? I don't know what you call them.
The squeeze-betweens.
We all have feelings about things, and some of us have strong feelings about some things. And Brian, you have some strong feelings about those cracks.
That's right. I do. I want to shed some light on a gameplay mechanic that has a chokehold on almost every game's pacing now. It's a thing that we're all just trying to push past or squeeze through. That's right. It's that part in so many games where your character has to slowly squeeze through a tight corridor, tunnel, or wall just to see more of the story and get back to the part where you're actually playing the game. Last year, we had it in God of War Ragnarok, the Callisto Protocol, A Plague Tale Requiem, The Last of Us Part 1, and a bunch of other games. It was in Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. It'll probably be back for the sequel. It was in Tomb Raider. It's a bottleneck for fun, and I'm very, very over it. Okay, so there's a bunch of different reasons why developers make us squeeze through these cracks or shimmy through the wall or crawl through the hole or whatever. It can hide a game's loading times. It can work as a funnel to keep players from backtracking. And sometimes it's there for the wow factor of going through a tiny thing so that they can show you a big thing, like a magic trick. Wow. How did they do it? But regardless of why it's there, it's bad. I don't want it to be there anymore. Being caught between a rock and a hard place is a phrase people use to describe a thing that sucks. So putting that thing to a bunch of games that exist to entertain us isn't a feature, it's a bother. It feels like one of those ancient design ideas that we should have left back in the previous generation. It was fun at first, we tried it, we did it for a while, and now it's time to go away. Let's get out of the tunnel, back into the open world, back into the light. Give us freedom, or give us death, or give us loading screens, or something like Mass Effect elevators again. Anything but those goddamn squeezing walls. Thank you for listening.
Ooh. Yeah, let's just put doors. Let's just put doors in
Doors.
mountainsides. Just open a door. Just Resident Evil
Take
style.
my money, Brian. That was really good.
Every game should have the Resident Evil 2 load screens.
Yes,
It should be the same graphics. Just keep it that way.
100%.
Brian, those are some harsh words. You talk a big talk. Well, I have prepared a rebuttal about why I think that cracks are great.
Did you beat up a middle schooler on the way?
Yes, but that was unrelated. They're cozy and safe. Sometimes the big open world is exhausting, and large levels make me tired and anxious. And maybe my video game characters want to take a nice break too. They want to shimmy in there and just feel a little bit safe.
Go to the safe room. Fast travel to the house or whatever.
Can I squeeze through a crack to get to the safe room? I think that would be nice. It's a brief respite. Second point, sometimes there's a surprise in there. Like scorpions. That's not a good surprise, but sometimes there's one in there. Who knows? It's cool when you're playing, you can just do it with one hand. What will you do with the other hand is up to you. You can have food. You can drink. You could scratch yourself. The world is yours with your free hand.
You can do that during a regular loading screen, too.
No, most importantly, it's better than a regular loading screen because it doesn't take you out of the game. A regular loading screen is like a PNG pops up and then a really insultingly obvious tip shows up in the bottom where it's like, have you tried saving? If you see this logo, it means that the game is saving for you. Do you know the shotgun is a gun that shoots?
Make sure to craft extra supplies before going into a boss battle.
Yeah, if you push a button, the menu might appear. Good luck with that. I don't know.
Akeem, back me up here. Come on.
Look, Brian, I think you went on this argument because, Max had to go to like a public school and pay some 7-year-old to write
I'm sorry my parents were yacht salesmen. I went to public school. What of it?
I'm just saying. Look, cracks are important for games for numerous reasons. Sometimes you got like your son who's behind you. You want to make sure he gets through safely, i.e., Kratos. Sometimes cracks are important because it gives you that downtime that you need from all the action. I don't know. I don't know. Wait a minute. I don't know what I'm saying. Wait a minute. Am I for? I'm for cracks. I'm sorry, Brian. I just realized I'm for cracks.
You're arguing. You're in favor of squeezing through the cracks.
Yes!
You were just against squeezing through the cracks.
Look, Brian, I'm sorry. The truth came out in me talking. I actually enjoy cracks. That's the thing.
No more cracks. We don't need any more squeezing. We don't need any more shoving.
Spot, Brian.
I don't want to be. I'm gonna get. You know what? I'm just gonna push through this. I'm gonna hold left stick up until we get out of this conversation. No one's on my side except for the walls.
I was at first because I saw what Max was doing. Max was, I mean, like that crinkled up paper
Struggling?
made me almost, on your side, Ryan. But then when I thought about it, cracks have been a part of gaming for a very long time, and so I honestly don't want it to go away. I enjoy it. It's never been cumbersome to me in any video game I've ever played. I understand why you hate it, Brian. I understand it, but they are important. Even crouching. How do you feel about crouching underneath like objects? What about crouching?
Just crouching in general, like the whole idea of crouching is I like to crouch. I like a good crouch. You get low, you can see what's down there.
Okay, there you go. So then why do you hate cracks? If you like to crouch to get underneath like an object, there's a structure, so you need to crouch down.
I think a crouchy crawl is just a horizontal crack. It's the same basic thing.
Yeah,
You're a horizontal crack.
I mean, it's the same thing. It's just like, any game in the past where you had to climb through the vents and to get somewhere. That's basically a crack.
Yep.
It's just a
Max,
longer
the horizontal crack is right. Max, the horizontal crack is right. He just said what he just said was right. It's you just said, Brian. I don't know if you just heard Jeff. You said you're okay with crouching. So that means you should technically be okay with cracks.
No, I like to crouch in a game, do a little sneak. You can do a sneak. That's you still have agency over you have control over your player, not going through like a tunnel, just squeezing through the tunnel. Like you could crouch through the crack too. There's a lot of. It doesn't mean it's one or the other. You could crouch through the crack. There's a lot of crouching through the crack.
So
wait a minute. Are you for or against your own argument, Brian? I'm confused now.
Okay, I'm okay with crouching in like an open world setting, like a big room. I like to do a little crouch, but I don't want to crouch through the crack. I don't want to.
We're talking specifically about the load screens, not just the crouching mechanic.
We've gotten way off topic here.
Okay.
Yeah, because it's called a red herring. That's what Akeem did. He brought a red herring to the show. And this is
I brought a turtle head. That's what I brought.
God.
I don't know if you remember that.
So the point is, we're arguing pro versus the cracks in games, but like there are a lot of built-in mechanics and things that put that thing away. I'm traumatized by that, Akeem. We're not going to be friends if you keep bringing that.
For those
of
you listening at home, it's perfectly fine. It's just the Ninja Turtle head in a jar. Nothing else to worry about.
So terrible. But there's so many hidden things that are that these cracks make available in games. It's what helps loading times. It cuts down on things that are loading, so it can, as soon as you go through that crack, it stops loading stuff behind you. There's other things that are more detailed. I'm not a full-on game dev that builds all this stuff and does with this, but there are a lot of hidden benefits and features that these cracks enable our games to do, and it's very important for them to have those.
Okay.
So like it's a thing that's not going to go anywhere anytime soon. Is there a way to improve upon it? Sure. Everything in games, just because something works doesn't mean it can't be improved.
I just want to open I want to open the dialogue. I don't know if I'm not telling people how to fix it. I don't want it there anymore.
Okay, well, I'm going to back it. I think that we should get rid of that. I think that every game should be perfectly fully open world. Everything, you should be able to interact with it. Most importantly, I think the games should be real cheap, if not free. I want them for free, and I don't want any load times, and I want them to be all good.
I want them to like download without using my internet data.
Yeah.
If you think about it.
Okay,
so y'all want to live in a fantasy world is what's happening right now.
Yeah, now they're mocking me.
Video game worlds.
They're just I had a very real gripe, and they're using
That's not
it
a
as
real gripe. It's an
platform.
asinine outlandish thing to be upset about. Anyway, it's more exciting than staring at a blank screen that has like a little piece of condescending information in the corner. And
I disagree. You can learn a tidbit, and we did it for years, and it worked great.